Happy Wednesday! Happy Wednesday, everybody. Wait, is anybody paying attention? You're just so excited at the energy. It is not Wednesday. Hello? It is Thursday, guys. I was checking up on you, making sure that facial expressions of high level intuition is coming out. I can read you in the disgust or the confusion phase. What do you mean it's Wednesday? Am I in the wrong time zone? What's happening? I'm living in the future. No, we're Thursday. Our friends in Tomorrowland or in Australia or in the Philippines, they are already Friday, by the way. Okay. So we're not that behind. Today, I am actually, wow, super energized. These are amazing human beings. And three out of the four are in Against the Grain. This is Susanna Dawn's project. She is leading that. I am partnering with my dear sister. She's my business partner, my bestie, and my Barbie. I literally have a human Barbie. I dress her up. You have no idea. And I love it because she's like, okay, I will do this. And she looks so pretty. I'm like, do you guys have a human Barbie? Do you have a Susanna? No? Okay, never mind. But I do. Okay, don't be jelly. You can have one too. Only if they trust you, though, right? Trust is everything. And in friendship and in life and in partnership, trust is everything. But let me ask you this and reflect on it a little bit. Do you give trust or do you think trust is earned? For me, I'll tell you later. My ADHD might take over though. I might not answer it, but I'm just saying. So we have Susanna Dawn, my sister Mike. Okay, you're like, what? Mike is a brother. No. We dub him a sister. He's part of the sisterhood now. Okay, and then his wife's probably like, huh? What? What's happening? And of course, our beautiful Dr. Mary. Look at that. Look at that. I need to get my eyes checked. I cannot see. No, I'm serious. When I wake up and I'm like, what does that say on LinkedIn? I don't know what it says. So I need to go get my eyes checked for sure. And Amy, and you're probably wondering, well, why is Amy here? She's not writing in Against the Grain. She's not an author. Yes, she is. Besides, I love people who love people. And Amy is that. She loves people who loves people. We need more Amy, right? Because if you are constantly supporting Level Up and Hounds, this is what you have: a free TV show to support and amplify your message. Each and every one of us have our own messages, right? Now, writing and being an author are not just creative pursuits, they are profound acts of legacy building. Through the writer's word, we capture our truths, experiences, and lessons, crafting a timeless gift for future generations. Writing allows us to influence, inspire, and of course, connect, leaving behind a lasting mark that continues to shape the world long after we're gone. Now, as an author, I understand the transformative power of storytelling, how it can spark change, foster understanding, and of course, build bridges across cultures and communities. Now, at Level Up Academy, we believe that everyone has a story worth telling and a legacy worth preserving. That's why we are dedicated to empowering you. Yes, I'm talking to you to become the author of your own lives, offering you the tools, mentorship, and platform that you need to share your voices with the world, right? Whether it's through publishing your first book, launching your own podcast, contributing to an anthology, we help our community turn their experiences into impactful narratives by guiding others like yourselves to write your own legacies. We create a collective um, fibers of resilience, wisdom, and inspiration that will echo for generation to come. Remember, guys, your story is your power. It's the legacy you leave behind. Writing allows you to capture your experiences, your insights, and of course, dreams in a way that inspires and influence your generations, like your great 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 grandkids, right? And impacts others long after today, right? Remember though that here we believe everyone has a story. So today we're going to ask some of our guests' story, right? And some of us are first time writers, some of us are repeat authors, some of us are publishers. But before we bring these beautiful souls in, I want to invite you to the Level Up Circle magazine. This is the fourth issue this year. It is both online and physical. I've been trying to grow my Instagram. I think March of this year I had like 326 followers. So, here's another lessons for you if you want to grow. Intentions. Be intentional and basically consistently showing up for yourself until it just grows, right? So I had 326, I think, March of this year when I started Beyond Boundaries. And today I'm at 76,000 subscribers or followers on Instagram. And so this is what I wanted to give to my community, right? And people always like, charge what you're worth. I said, it's not about me and my worth. It's about the people and their messages. My mission is to level up the world through education, and I'm using my platform so that everyone can afford to level up. I'm not a rich person, but I'm giving everybody a chance to amplify their message. And when I say everybody, and I mean everybody who's ready, because we know everybody's not ready, right? So this magazine is called The Year of Reinvention, and it will come out on January 1st. And basically, I want to have an accountability partner. I'm only looking for 10 people. I only already have three. I need seven more. And it will come out, it will end, I think November 30th is maybe the last day that I will take in anybody. And by next year of this year, if you come into this one, you'll get in for free because I'm going to interview you and what you wrote in this magazine or what I write in this magazine. What is 2025 looking for you? How are you going to reinvent yourself so you may have something that's different going to 2025, whatever that is, whether it's personal branding or just simply, right, leveling up yourselves. And then my dear sister, she said, look at, we match the background. She needs a level up light now. I don't remember where I got this. I think I made it somewhere in Amazon, like I ordered it. And yeah, but look at our sweatshirts are the same. I needed black glasses. I sat on mine. That's probably why I'm blind, Dr. Mary. So that's probably why. But really, this idea was born because of my conversation with Paulette Hallam. And she's like, CJ, I've seen so many people do anthology and some publishers, ooh, that's what she literally said. But I love the way you guys do your books with Susanna. But imagine not having a theme. And my ADHD brain was screaming, what do you mean no structured? What do you mean no theme? But think about it. Everyone has a story, but if I truly want to level up my community, I should take in everybody's story, no matter what it is, without a theme. So we're trying it out, guys. If you want to say and tell your story in worldwide, because my podcast actually give you a free podcast 90 days, so you could be on Audible. Literally millions of followers are listening to that, like 500,000 downloads a month. You can. And this is called The Chronicles of Scattered Pages, stories from everywhere, right? And Susanna and I thought it was a good idea we have a maximum, so we have limited seats. So between now and November 30th, we're only doing it for $300. And it's actually only 2,000 words, okay? But then by December, it'll go to 400. And if you're in the Hounds, we don't have a discount between November and December for this because it's super low already. But in January, it goes back to 500. And of course, Hounds members will have a discount. But this is 300 by the end of this month, 400 by December. But you can write anything. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, enough of that one. Mike, I think still looking for ambassadors. I'm not sure. But look at that. Look at that smile. That's a sister, not a brother, okay? Okay, okay, get it? Okay. And yes, we are always looking for amazing people in the Hounds. and Level Up, we are always leveling up people the way we can through our soul passion and caring of others. And of course, look at that beautiful sister. We need to update this picture, sis. We do. It's not really a we, it's me. I need to update this picture. But Susanna is looking for a speaking gig for your organization, and she's already taught workshops, 4 workshops at university or the college that I work for, in terms of storytelling, so, and productivity. So make sure you ask Susanna. She also has a lot of projects coming up in 2025, so I cannot wait to highlight her as well. So these are my 2 amazing sponsors. I'm like, I'm only seeing my head. What is happening? It's this stupid mic. Look, but look at my mic. Isn't it pretty? It's in pink. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to bring up my sister from another Mr. Susanna. Hello, sister.
Morning, sis.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's kind of rainy here, but I got the fire going, right?
Ooh, that's right. We do have the fire. Mike says he's snowing. I don't know. I guess if I'm not going anywhere, snow is good. But are you excited to bring in amazing people today?
Oh, this is going to be a fun conversation today.
I
They were already
know.
chatting it up, but before we even started.
I know. And we're like, oh, wait, we have to go. Loving the background. So let's go ahead and bring up all of them at once. We're going to go bring up our sister Mike.
Y'all are so silly. And by the way, I'm not snowing. It is snowing where I am located. Yes, ma'am. But I
Yeah,
am
you
not
are
snowing.
snowing. Look, you don't see sparkles? Look, look, look. It's coming out.
No. Yeah. And I actually mow my grass like that. I like the AstroTurf. Since you were going to ask that, So yeah, don't don't drink while I talk. You know better. Anyway, I'm proud. I'm happy to be here. And thank you so much for all you do, CJ and Susanna. You know what? You make all these stuff that we need to grow our businesses, man, affordable and accessible. And otherwise, most of us who are starting out and scaling up couldn't get it, and we need it. So that's why the HOB and Level Up is like peanut butter and jelly when they put it in the same jar. 20 years ago, I'm still excited about it. So appreciate you and just love all the good stuff that we do together. Impact, man. I'm honored.
Yeah, I've seen us grow our communities pretty much this year, right? And I think it only grew when we got rid of negative energy, which I love that, right?
It
Yeah.
like pruning. You prune a tree, around in the fall time, and then what happens? It looks a little skinny and it looks like it needs some love, and then you turn around in the spring and boom, man, it's full again. It's got buds, and that's the true for life and business. That's what I've noticed. So absolutely good observation.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring in Dr. Mary.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited.
I know. We're so privileged to have you because I asked you, I'm like, wait, I've never seen you on live stream before. This is the first time I think. And you're like, just because it's you guys. I'm like,
It's true. I want to
That's
be around
special.
like positive energy, and all 3 of you are just amazing people. So I knew if I was going to do anything like this, I had to be like pretty selective with where I went forward with it. So
that's
yay.
true.
And it's
Yeah.
not just live stream, it's TV.
Ooh.
That's true. You're on Roku channel, you're on Apple TV, you're on Amazon Fire, you're everywhere right now.
The whole world's in
Yeah,
my
no
house
pressure.
right now.
And YouTube, don't forget.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
No pressure. There's only
Oh
about
yeah.
800 people watching. So yeah, no worries.
yeah, only
That's
760.
fine. It's fine.
760. Thank you, YouTube. We have usually Philippines, Pakistan. A lot of international people watch me and they're driving, they're tricycle driver, they're jeepney drivers, right? Because I always ask them, like, why are you guys not commenting? Always, she's like, we can't comment. First of all, we don't know how to speak English. And so, like, writing it and typing it, we're scared. But we're here, though, we're listening. And I was like, oh, thank you for listening, but it would be so nice to hear from you guys once in a while. So they just DM me. So welcome everybody. Can you guys hear this? That's right. We're celebrating everyone here. And Mike's like, yes, it is. It is. Let's see who's first. Noni. Let's see if I beat Mike and HO. Yeah, you did. You are the first one, sister. You did a great job. You beat Mike. Mike's not even on here until like later on after Homer. So, yep, you did. So, let's start
So
with the two people that really haven't been in this space. We're going to start with Dr. Mary. Can you introduce yourself to our listeners and watchers? Who is Dr. Mary?
Well, I'm really just about positive energy and positive vibes. I'm an optometrist, that's why I have the doctor. But it's just so much more than that. I'm just all about spreading positive vibes everywhere and making everyone kind of feel kind of like they said they kind of like feel like happy in this world and just spreading some light, and because it can be a little bit difficult sometimes and people can feel kind of alone in this world. So I really like to foster a community of like just people belonging together and accepting people for who they are, and just spreading some light and love wherever I can. That's pretty much the what I'm all about. Oh yeah, literally like the heart, literally like Mike's heart, literally like that. I'm just trying to be like just like a source of light in this world, and for people to be themselves and acknowledge that things are kind of hard sometimes, but we're all in it together and we can be there for each other and just kind of grow and get through it all together.
I love that. I love because you're helping professionally and also personally, right?
Yeah.
Having good vibes, having good energy, plus helping people see better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
she
Yeah.
he's
I
our real life Care Bear. That's what she's our HOB
Aww.
Care Bear.
But she
I
There
has
it
to
is.
go with the pink program. She's on black right now. Her and Susana. Actually, I have black underneath, but I gotta show you my. Oh, you can't see. Dang. But look how pretty this sweater has little
Aw.
diamonds. I know. I'm so girly. I love it. Good thing God gave me two girls, because if He did give me boys, let me tell you something. They would be wearing pink all day too. I don't care. But God knew better, so He gave me girls instead. Amy, your turn. Who is Amy?
Oh, Amy is your 76,001 Instagram follower. I adore your content. I am your latest, biggest fan, but not your only fan, clearly. And, you are such a light to so many lives, which is why you can't get a calendar date with you until I think it's June 2025, because you're loved and admired. And I am also loved and admired by those who are in my community, because what I do is I do unto others. And I'm about relationship building and fostering community in those relationships. Um, if you've got a product or service that is, doing helping people out there, I'm going to get behind you. And this is where I'm going. And I hope everyone comes along with me and supports one another, who are really doing things for one another and helping lift this world up. And that is what you're about, my dear. So I'm just honored to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being here. Yeah, I do get a lot of complaints, at least 10 a day about my calendar. It's broken. That's what CJ, your calendar is broken. You're not available till June. I'm like, no, it's not broken. So if you already get a calendar for me, don't cancel it, because you're going to have to wait 6 more months. I'm just telling you. Okay. And they're like, oh, I'm going to keep it. I'm like, yeah, I have a calendar for coffee chats, which is free. And I do value my time. So I have mentorship calendar, authors calendar. I have a Hounds of Business calendar. So if you're in the Hounds, don't go to the general coffee chat and just ask me. I will send you my calendar for HOB. But I don't put it out there, because when I put it out there, somebody says, yeah, I'm Hounds of Business. So I looked into Hounds of Business Mighty. I'm like, why am I not seeing this guy? And I asked, bro, did you get this guy in on Hound? How come I didn't know? And Mike's like, what are you talking about? I don't know who that guy is. So in the middle of us doing Zoom, I said, okay, who is the founder of HOB? The lady. I'm like, the lady? Mike, last time I checked, was not the lady. And I literally just end the call. And then he DM me on LinkedIn. He goes, I think I can't get in. I'm like, no, I ended it because you're lying. I don't want to even talk to you. And I just unblock. I'm like, don't do that. The lady, the mic is a lady. Yeah, no. So you're
No.
lying so much.
My favorite is, that guy. Like, "Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, that's the secret password." Yeah, that
That
guy.
guy.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, I can't. So that's why I don't put the hounds anymore, except for the hounds. Now let's go ahead and talk about impact and legacy, guys. And we're gonna go round robin. We're gonna start with Dr. Mary and all the way down. But before we do that, I want to introduce my sister because this is her project technically against the grain, right? She's the lead of this one. Sister, talk to us about against the grain.
So when we talk about against the grain, and actually this came out of Rebel with a Cause. It's got its own unique story that you didn't realize when we came up with the title. Against the grain, when we find a space for belonging, when we find the place that we belong, the people that we can be safe with, we can drop the mask, we can be in that space without fearing judgment. That's a place that we belong. But to get there, we pretty much have to resist a world that's resisting us. Because to be our authentic selves, the world likes to just dump us in boxes and say, this is what you are, this is how I'm going to define you. And whoever sticks you in that box, they cherry pick what they want to fit whatever narrative they want. Because they don't care. So we have a world that basically resists who we are at our core for many of us, because it doesn't want to accept, or it doesn't like, or whatever myriad of reasons. So in going against the grain, that means that you're taking that step, you're taking back control of your life, for one thing, and stepping out and going and finding the place where you belong. Because when you try to fit in someplace, it don't work. Fitting in is not an option unless you just want to roll over and play dead, because there is nothing to it. You're hiding yourself. You're putting on a mask. You're trying to be who you're not. So quit fitting in and go find the people that you belong with and that you can collaborate with and that you can move forward with. And
Yeah, let me define collaboration too. Collaboration is not saying I'm never gonna pay.
oh yes, I got a post coming out on that one.
Collaboration can be paying and free, like it's give and take, and we give a lot scholarship to people who really need it. Um, and we basically have seen that the scholarship we give is people crap on, right? And it's not easy to edit, guys. To edit is to think about creative thinking and thoughts that stays remain in your own voice, but like for business for us and marketing. And so it's not that easy. And the only thing that we require is for you to share. But we see you when you don't share and you're on part of our scholarship. So Susanna and I have pivoted from that. And so when people says I don't ever pay for collaboration, we stay away from, because it's give and take, right? Sometimes you pay, sometimes you don't. And it's okay if you don't belong in that one. So Dr. Mary, I want to ask you this question. What unique experiences or lessons in your life that can inspire or guide others if shared through a book?
Well, first of all, everything Susanna said was just so beautiful. And, when when she wrote about this book, the idea behind it, it just resonated so well with me. And then just kind of getting to know her a little bit more, I'm just so glad that you guys are in on this with me. And I'm so grateful for all of you, everyone here, first of all, because, and it's just, you have to do these kinds of things with people that you trust and that you really respect and that you actually feel like care about others, not just something that they're doing, but they actually care about people. So everything she just said was just so beautiful. So that's what kind of got me kind of looking at this project with everybody. I know I'm just so like, it just resonated so hard and so quickly that, I'd been thinking about writing something for a while, but I was waiting for the right thing. I knew the right thing would eventually come. And this just hit so hard and fast that I knew it was perfect. So in terms of your question, I grew up really in a really, really conservative upbringing. I knew I didn't fit in. I just knew I was too loud to fit in. I laughed too much. I was too just happy. I just did not fit into that world that I was born into. But I tried for a really, really long time. And I know a lot of people have had that same kind of feeling when they're growing up, that they have to fit into a certain type of a box or fit into a certain situation. And we just don't. And I guess my experiences kind of taught me over time, over a couple things that, I talked about in my chapter, just kind of life experiences, that, you know what, it's okay. It's okay to just kind of let go of all of that and just be true to who you are. Because if you don't fit into the situation that you're born into, you can create your own sense of belonging, and you can create your own life where you fit in yourself and find people that love and respect you for who you are, and people that'll support you no matter what your decisions are, even if they don't align with what they think your life should kind of be in the path that you should follow. So I guess in terms of unique experiences, it's kind of how I grew up. I mean, it's just my whole upbringing is one of the experiences that I had that I think a lot of people have kind of shared and a lot of people have gone through, but a lot of people don't really talk about because they're kind of scared to say, I grew up this way, but it wasn't right for me. And it's okay to not continue living in that within the lines that I was kind of thinking were the right path for me to begin with. So it's okay to change, and it's okay to embrace who you are. And I hope my message kind of resonates with other people the way that this book resonated with me.
I love that. We're all about quality over quantity, Susanna and I. And I'm a sucker for stories, like literally a sucker for stories. And people are like, "What about your story?" I'm like, "Okay, give me a paragraph to encapsulate what you're saying." They're like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Just give me a summary, okay? Even if it's a bullet points. I just want to know." Like, I'm so nosy. I want to know your story and what you're about to write, because there are so many stories about our life. All right, we're multifaceted. But when you have a chance to write only a page of your life and only a portion, like a little sliver, and that could be your last memory, because we had this with Jess, right? She wrote about her life, but now she can't write about her life anymore. So what you write could be your last legacy. And it's so important for you to choose what resonates with you at the moment, because that could be your last thought. And so I'm so glad, Susanna and I are so glad that you resonate with this and that you went for it, right? Because I know that I've asked you, I think since Beyond Boundaries, and you're like, no, next time, right?
We both
And
have.
yeah, and I think that's the reason why I think also that I like what Paulette was suggesting, is that sometimes people want to write, but because the theme doesn't resonate with them, they don't want to write. So this anthology that we're doing, which is I'm testing the ground, is whatever you want to write. We don't have a theme anymore. What do you want to leave a legacy for, right? So this is kind of amazing. So Susanna, what's your chapter about?
Belonging.
Okay, stop. Expand more.
It's quite frankly, if you listen to everything I just talked about for the book, that's kind of what it's turning into. It's that little bit of everything plus a business aspect in there to understand how belonging makes financial difference for an organization. I mean, a lot of places they might think it's touchy feely. The woke word might come out, but the reality is, when people feel like they belong in a space, they feel safe enough to drop the mask, to walk in and be their authentic self. Then they're more likely to engage at a deeper level instead of staying superficial. They're more likely to contribute their ideas without the fear that this great idea they have, somebody might see through their mask and say, the only way you can come up with that idea is because you are whatever. It could be neurodiversity, it could be LGBTQ, it could be an immigrant, it could be from another country, a whole variety of stuff. It can be your accent. How many people hide their accent just because They're afraid to get stereotyped. So it's all this stuff. You walk into the workplace with a mask, you can't be your authentic self. But the company then has to understand when people are that way, they're probably looking for the next job. They can't wait to get out so they can be in that space. And how much does it cost to replace people? And how much does it cost to lose great ideas? And how much does it cost versus how much does it save if they stay and they give you their best ideas and help you grow the company? So a little of everything.
That's going to be fun editing. Yeah, I'm going to have fun editing.
You always do.
We edit each other's papers. You're like, well, what about this? And what about that? How about you move this one? I made Susanna cry on my chapter, guys. You're going to have to figure out why. I added Sister Mike in there, Susanna. Sister Mike is part of my chapter.
We'll
Oh,
just call him Sissy.
yeah. Hello, sister. Mike, look at him. He's blushing. Oh my God. Amy, this is
I've
my
got
question. What
I've
are
got
some of those?
I've got an idea. You know, there was a man named Sue. He could be a man named Sister.
Another
New Johnny
book.
Cash song.
So, unique experiences from my life is, you know, mine has been exploration. To Dr. Mary's point about growing up where you feel like at some point, you know, in my early 20s, I realized I can make a change. I drove across country at 22 with a couple of gals that worked in a club, and I used to, you know, go to a lot. And we drove cross country to Los Angeles back in the late 80s, and I knew that there were people who I could relate to if I just went to go find them. And so for me, my legacy is about exploration and relationship building. And with that, I've had many people hear just tidbits of a few stories from whether it was, you know, my infamous story about the time I was on house arrest in Thailand to that was an accident to the kissing contest with George Clooney. You know, I've got a plethora of great experiences living a life fully. And, you know, I too am ADHD. I've learned that later in life because back then, you know, in the 70s when we were kids, we weren't, you know, that just wasn't in the narrative unless you were a super hyper kid. Then you're just called super hyper, you know. So, yeah, I've discovered that my what do we call it? Our powerful, you know, our superhero is my ADHD for sure. I do come from a place of hospitality. That was my background. So I'm used to conducting myself in a room full of people. And what I do for them is offer space to them. It's not to take over and just take over conversation when you approach a table or, you know, when they approach you at the front. You are to invite them in and give them space, you know, make a little crack so that they feel the space. Because sometimes people are intimidated when they come to a restaurant or the front desk of a hotel. You know, it's intimidating to them to enter that space when all we need to do is help them with a little crack. You know, oh my goodness, that necklace, sister, where'd you find that? You know, I've told ladies your haircut. Oh my God, I came back from getting it cut. You know, and it just, a wellspring opens up in people that we have the ability to do for them. So authentic hospitality is a direction that I'm going to. You know, I've been playing around with different industries from developing a feminine lubricant for the gals out there that's all natural to, you know, I've actually gotten, you know, health and wellness should be the core of all of our interests, taking care of ourselves. And I think of you every morning, Dr. Leyland, when I reach for that cup of water, because we do need to hydrate ourselves in the morning, but you and I are coffee fans, so we've got to
Me
make a
too.
point of that.
Me
But
too.
yeah, it's just, oh, we love that flavor, that first flavor. But yeah, so exploration, hospitality, being authentic. So I'm introducing a new workshop. So I'll be working on this in a writing content, which is hospitality, authentic hospitality, and combining, what we do in the restaurant industry and how that applies to every business, every business. And if we all provide hospitality to one another and apply these techniques in business, I know you will see your profits soar, your clients connect, and creating positivity, within your realm, which is your business. So that's what I have to bring to the table.
I love that. We could have gone down so many ways and what you just said. We're not gonna go there. Look at Mike. We're gonna move on to the book. Yeah, that's for sure. And I do love that because it is part of self care, and it's one of those things that's taboo. Maybe you should actually open up your own podcast. I always invite people. The only way the future is to amplify your message. I mean, look at LinkedIn. They're getting rid of audio rooms, pure audio rooms. They're going to video, which is what we're doing anyways. It's not a big deal for us who already live stream. But for those who don't want to, and pure audio room, it has a pro and con. The pro is you can have as many people as you want, you can hear everything that they want. The video only has exclusivity, right? Because it's all five of us here and that's it pretty much. And there's also a maximum people that you can have. So there's pros and cons. And I understand why it's probably a bandwidth as LinkedIn, as any business. They want to make money, maximize profit, and storage might be too much for them, just audio and live events. So migration of both like together is better for them, right? And we can't really fault them. It's either just like AI. Somebody actually made a comment saying AI solves issues. I was like, bro, it's like having my car. My car solves my issue. No, it's just a vehicle to go A to B. And if there's no driver, you can't go. But I should take that back because I did ride a Wayco or Waymo, and there was no driver on that car. It was scary. But that is the future. That is the future. I went to San Francisco and they have it. And it even said, "Good morning, Dr. CJ. Please don't push any button." And the first thing I wanted to do was push buttons, because I have this thing when you tell me no, I do the opposite. And I was like, ah, man, I have to hold my finger not to touch the button. But they actually said push the button to go. I'm like, oh yes, I can push the button to go. But it was scary. And I told my husband, who's an architect, and actually he's more than that in the AI industry. He's an evangelist for them. And I guess there's a new thing now, guys, called the czar of AI. And he wants to be that. I'm like, huh? You're not Russian. What's happening? And he's like, no, this is a new thing now. And it's above evangelist, because evangelist is above subject matter expert. So then they have the evangel. I'm like, why are you guys creating all these names? Like, what does it mean? Right? It's just like, because it sounds so elitist. And they are in the IT world, by the way. It's kind of crazy. But Mike, sister, what unique experiences or lessons from your life that you can inspire, guide others shared from through this book? This is your second time with us.
I'll leave that question up there. I'm not gonna listen. First of all, I'll behave. I behaved this whole time because Susanna's here. That's you knew better. You're like, well, we got to have Susanna here if we want Mike to behave and not mess up my show. And number two, I tell you the same thing in the second book because I was in the first one, right, Beyond Boundaries. And he's like, hey, Mike, you want to write a book and writing a book with us? And I've said, yeah, maybe I should start reading them first. Like what qualifies me to so I say that because anybody out there, like Mary and the rest of us who are not authors, it's not our thing. We just got a good story. Yeah, this is where to go. This is where to go so people can help you, guide you through it, so you can focus on your story and not all the other stuff that goes with it. So there's your shameless plug because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the guidance because it would be just a waste of time. So To answer the question, I want to piggyback off of what all the ladies said up here. And, defining success for yourself, the happiness, the legacy, harmony. In my 40s, just now figuring out what I want to do, not what everybody else told me to do or society assumed that I should do, right? And I think that's the key. I lived 40 years as someone else, or I didn't even know who that was. And so I don't look at it as getting up to go against the grain on purpose. I say, well, if I'm going to be for me and define my own life, then I'm going to go by default be against the grain, right? Like, think about that. And that happens a lot. That's the calling card. That happens a lot in life when you try to change, right? You do the same thing, average and ordinary, whatever that may be. And then you try to change. And it's like, oh, wow, this is very difficult. People get their feathers ruffled. They don't understand it. You're instead of hanging out and having fun, you're grinding, working on stuff that nobody else around you understands. We're an aiming type of people. So you can't have extraordinary results in a great life doing the average stuff you do all the time now, right? So for me, anybody who's trying to be somebody, do something special, you're going to go against the grain. All right. My best advice is to embrace it, stop fighting it. And that was where things changed for me. That's what I heard a little bit about Susanna and Dr. Mary, right? So for me in the book, it's real simple. The lessons I've learned, I just put back in this book. And when it comes to networking, sales, social media, marketing, business growth in general, it took a long time and it's still not comfortable. But the hunter mentality, right? The whole how can I do it? What can I do to get people me? That didn't sit well with me as a person. So I could never figure it out in business, right? I could never do 40 coffee chats, follow a script and pressure or get somebody to say yes. I just, hey, if you can do that, I'm not knocking you. I'm jealous of you. Okay. So hats off. You got my respect. However, for the masses of us out there, it's just not working. You're trying to bash a square peg in a round hole in business and in life. So as writing this book, at first I was like, man, why am I doing this? I should have, I'm probably just doing this because CJ asked me to, blah, blah, blah. And we do that. But then as I wrote this thing, I was like, hey, this is this is helping me clarify my message, not just for the book, but in podcast, when I talk to people, when I share and interview people, when we go out to the hounds and we're like, hey, who wants to be a part of the pack? Who feels like this? So for me, it was just an alternative, right? Bald people are being sold haircuts all over social media, all over the world. And you know what? They probably don't need to waste the time and money doing that. They probably would be more interested in a hat or a wig shop, right? And so it helped me clearly define, hey, it's not just me. There's a lot of people like me. They share my values, they share my alignment. They want to go out there instead of doing 40 coffee chats and hoping to sell. They'd rather go out there and help people like Dr. CJ, right? Amy Hammond, perfect example. I bring her in the pack. What she do brings me rock stars, right? John Kirkhoff, right? All these people, and how much more fun and effective is it to go out there and say, hey, instead of just focusing on me all day, how about I go out there and help Susanna get what she wants? Because she's the type of person, right? Not that I'm expecting it, just know that's who she is. She's going to try to help me get what I need and want, right? And that's the redneck Camelot, right? That's that whole ecosystem that we had built in the Hounds, right? Together with Level Up and the Hounds and all these other communities. So my whole point is, writing this book helped me to say, look, I'm going to go out there and just like Batman. I'm not trying to convince anybody, right? Just put the symbol out there, right? It's like peacocks, right? Peacocks throw the feathers up. Why? Well, they're not going to attract dogs and mailman and stuff. They're just going to attract other peacocks. And that's what this is about. Hey, not knocking anyone, not trying to do anything. But I'm saying if you're a stray out there and you're thinking you stink because you don't know how to close sales, you don't know how to get on podcasts, you don't know how to do all this stuff, it's not you. It's just the wrong method, the wrong people. Be around people that can support and push you up. Have the resources and support for that. And so writing about this is really fun because people reading this will have hope again. They'll have, not just false hope. They'll have, hey, there's something for me I haven't tried yet. There's people around that won't put me down, who won't, fake it, all this stuff. And we really care about each other. And that translates into sales, right? And that translates into business growth. Because hey, I'll stop here. We don't see ourselves in our business different. Y'all ever heard that saying? Well, it's not personal, it's just business. Oh, sweet Jesus. Nothing could be more farther from the truth. No, it's like saying, look, I ain't going to go there. I'll behave. But that's like saying, look, my business is an extension of who I am. The more people I help, the more problems I solve, the more money we can make. I don't help a lot of people, don't make a lot of money. It's a measuring stick. But what makes us special is what we can do with that money as we make it. And then when we have all the freedom in the world we want, I want to open up food banks. I want to help Dr. CJ put more trees, right? Help people in Tanzania. That's what I want to do. So the Hounds Level Up, that's what we're about. This book is a great way to get the message out there. So thank you for that. Hopefully I answered that question. I think I answered it, didn't I? Close
Yeah,
enough?
sure.
Yeah.
I love it though. Seriously,
All
sister.
right.
I do love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Iced
so
tea here.
no, I'm so glad you said that
You're,
because all of our books, by the way, guys, the money goes to buying trees in Beyond Boundaries. I have 27 trees now, like a forest really in Madagascar. And so we hit like 5 or 6 different UNESCO goal, which is the goal that we want to help the world, right? And then the moving beyond boxes. So Santa put her stuff and bought 10 trees or 13 trees, I think 10 in Honduras.
So
And then,
far,
yeah, Rebel with a Cause. I'm putting it on mental health for Jess because I also created a notebook for her so that I can help autism because that's what she wanted to support. And I dedicated that book for her because she was a rebel and she signed up for it to write that book. She did. She signed. She was the first one to sign up to write that book, and she couldn't do it. So I had her mom. I talked to her mom to write just a blurb, about what she wants to leave a legacy in that book. And I did a eulogy and read her chapter. I get emotional just thinking about it because it's just crazy. And I lost another friend, Michelle Lax, who's also, by the way, in the Hound. So we lost 2 Hound members this year, right? And so we want to make sure that if we're not for you, it's okay, but you'll find somebody in the Hounds that's for you. Now, if you go against us, you're gone. Like that, we don't need no negative energy. Like we have way too much to we work so hard and way too much integrity to keep people who have bad energy. We just don't want that, right? And if you are going through life and you are having that bad energy, instead of spewing stuff, come to us and let's see what we can do together, right? We do want to continue this, so I'm actually hoping that I can interview individually these people, my sisters, no brother here, just a sister, um, to put it on the podcast because I think their messages and their chapter needs to be out there some more. But before we end, because TV network cuts us off, okay, I want to ask you guys your last parting message for the people. If this was your last day right now, what would be your parting message to your legacy? Dr. Mary, we start with you.
Yay. Well, I just think if this was my last day, I think my parting message would be to just live for yourself and do what makes you happy and do what makes you happy, but also helps other people, and just be a kind and nice and genuine and good person, and just be true to yourself and follow your heart. And then that way you'll still be there for other people as well as yourself. So I think that would be my message if I had to pick one. And eat
I,
good food.
I love it. And we're like, yay. So, Sana, what about you, sister?
get out of the box. Be your authentic self. Um, and when you feel stuck, just be aware that you don't have to stay there. You can take back control, be your authentic self. And that's really what it comes down to, because we can't be successful. We can't truly be successful and fulfilled if we're not our authentic self, who we were created to be in the first place.
Dang, I thought you said find a CJ to dress you up. Okay, gotcha. Amy.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Mine would be foster long-term positive relationships. And like the great Maya Angelou would say, people will forget what you do or said, but not how you make them feel. Do unto others, guys.
I love it. Sister Mike.
Yeah, I always think of Ice-T and Betty White when you say that, man. And by the way, Betty, where is my pink trucker Lua hat? You don't even wear it anymore, and at this point, it's just mean not to hand it over. All right, I'm done. All right, see, look at that look Susanna gave me. See that? See that? That's why this is here. All right. So, hey, it's simple. start defining your own life. Forget people. That's all right. So forget people, forget people, forget the wrong people. What do you want? Right? I say this a million times. I mean, it's just, well, somebody truly wants to be, a good mom or stay at home, house person, then you should do that. Stop telling people you shouldn't. On the same hand, hey, I want to be out there. I want to grow my business, right? I don't want to do this. I don't want to have a family. You should do that too. There's too many people insinuating in societal norms. So it's with Susanna, right? Get out the box. Start figuring out what you want, what you want, and work on the stuff inside of you. That's the thing that, I always thought I had a business or marketing problem. Yeah, we have challenges, but you could have the best sales scripts, the best everything on earth. But if you don't fully believe it, how you expect others to believe? So my advice is stop looking and playing as a chess piece on a board, right? Ask yourself, zoom out from the board to a chess master viewpoint, right? Yeah, I've been told this is how it is, but what if? What I changed the game. I changed the whole game. We'll start off with chess. We'll be playing tic tac toe before I'm get done because I have no bounds. I have no self imposed limitations, man. So start going out there, and if stuff isn't working, stop feeling bad about it. It's just the wrong stuff. It's not for you. Go find something or create something that works for you. And look what happened. I'm just some guy in a camo hat taking a walk, trying to figure out how to be happy in my 40s, and I've got hundreds of rock stars and partnerships with Level Up. I mean, who knows if I can do it? Who can't do it? But you got to be willing to take the hits. You got to be willing to take the baby steps, and you got to have courage before confidence. It's not going to be all roses, but it's going to be worth it.
I love it. Did you guys get all that? Okay, I love it. For me, I'm gonna stick to the theme. It's through your words, you can ignite change, right? Touch hearts, and leave indelible mark on readers far and wide. We read books from strangers. We appreciate art from Van Gogh, right? Writing a book is not just about telling your story. I want to tell my story. No, no. It's about empowering others to believe in their own story. So take a leap, trust in your voice, and let your story inspire the world. Because the impact your book could be a greater inspiration, a greater best friend than you ever could imagine. So, thank you guys for watching us. Almost 900 of you on YouTube. I appreciate you. We love you and stay level up. Bye, everybody. Say bye, guys. See
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank
See
you.
ya.